Okay, second part. Some ideas, as I said before, if you have some questions, because I bring some ideas on definition of objectives and expected results. I will not be very heterodox. I will be heterodox in defining the objectives and the results, because I think that maybe sometimes when we plan a proposal, we start with the actions. What we want to do. What are the actions that this problem needs to be solved? So many times we are not thinking on the objectives and on the results, but what is needed to do. So for that reason, is from our perspective, sometimes we are not just thinking in big objectives, or so this is something easier, just to say what we need, what the problem need to be solved. So for that reason, then we define the objective. So if we implement these actions, our objectives are this or that, and we will achieve these results. So the outcomes of these actions could be that. So is the way from the concrete to the general, because you can make the opposite way from the general to the concrete. But we usually, not always, but usually make this reflection from the base to the top. I will say that when you define your objectives and you measure your results, we always include governance and awareness raising objectives. It's not either if your project is a Natura project, a Natura Life project, we also include governance and awareness raising. It's not only a question of if we are presenting a governance proposal, you only will have objective on governance and awareness raising or information or whatever. But always that we present a Natura proposal, for example, we include this kind of objective. Why we include these objectives? Because I think it's something that is related with the transferability of that actions. It could serve just to move something in the structure and in general with policymakers, not only just acting in the natural sites or with the species, but it's something always needed in the top. So and just awareness raising also just to permit to move the behavior of many people involved in many problems, so hunters or policymakers, whatever. And then when you have these actions objective, you need to measure your result, the outcomes of the project. So I think for that reason the table of indicators that you have included, you have to fill this table. Sometimes it's really is something crazy, because you will not find, for example, we have two projects and looking for the Excel with the indicators, we didn't find any indicators that could be applied to our project. So what to do in that case? We just add a list with our own indicators. We measure those indicators, so don't be afraid if you are not finding any indicator that could be served for your projects. So just add it. I'd add them. So you can make a list and measure those indicators just to follow the outcomes of the projects. So that happens many times because are very focused, I think, the indicators on environment projects. Not in Natura, you can find, but sometimes it's really difficult. So just in the last projects we have made that, just to propose new indicators not included in the Commission Excel. So that indicator also help you to measure the results. Because well, I have an example of how it had been changing with the time. Because in 2010, the obligation of the measure of that results are different for the current days. And I have an example of how it had been changing with the time, how to measure and how to explain your results. Mistake in this process of defining the objectives. I think it's you have to be aware that the objective and the result depend of your own organization or do not depend on others that are not partners of that project. For example, if you need a law to change, because I don't know, you would like to change the regulation of I don't know, the protection of a natural site. If the administration's competence to approve this law is not your partner, or if you don't have any letter of support just with the commitment to change that law, you will have an objective and actions that not depend on your projects, on your partners, on your budget, and this is a risk because the Commission will ask you just how you will like to, how you will change, or how will you implement the actions if this action depend on the decision, action of other partners that are not involved in your project. So, for that reasons, I think it's really important to involve the right partners in the projects that are able to act and to help you to implement your actions and your objectives. Other risks to be overconfidence. Sometimes you think, I said the same before with the problem, you think that you know perfectly the problem, you describe perfectly the project, but sometimes the goals or the actions or the results are not really solving that problem. You have very you have this view that this is the problem needs, but sometimes it's not the reality. So the feedback when you have the evaluation sometimes tell you that it's really we have not defined very well the objective to solve the problem. So the problems should be well defined, but maybe the solution is the same. The solution were not adequate, or to be very general to defining objectives and mainly the results. I would like to share two examples of how the definition of the expected result has changed. This is the list of results from the Live Veneno projects. This was awarded as one of the best Natura projects. So if you read the results are really general. There are not numbers, there are not percentage. So in 2010, our results were there. This result: reduction in the illegal use of poison, approval of regional action plans. It looks like objectives, not results. But for the Commission in 2010, this is okay. So are very right results. So, but two years later, this is other live proposal award by the Commission. The Commission asked us just to list the number of results and just to give a number. What in numbers you would like? What will you achieve with your project? So there is a complete list of results. Just I don't know, with 30 participant in 30 workshops, a guidance, 5 telephone surveys of the general public. I mean, this is a list of results. The proposal that we have presented this year and the last year also have changed from this perspective. So we have to include the percentage. If we present some proposal to recover the population of the imperial eagle, we have to say how is the percentage of that recovery, how much imperial eagle will be, how it increased that population, or how is the percentage of cases of illegal poisoning in the countryside that you will reduce with your project. So it's a little bit complex in the definition of the results, and for that work, for that job, I think that indicators could help you just to measure how to what you will achieve with your projects. So sorry, that's all.
Something.
Yeah.
How many percent of state Spain covering with Natura 2000? Approximately 25% of
I have not the figures.
20. Because Slovenia has covered approximately about 32%.
28.
38. Excuse me. This is new data, but in Spain.
I have not the figures.
20 and 30 or.
I can't say. I don't know.
It's around 30, isn't it? Around 30? Because I know that you have a lot of Natura.
Yes, we have
for
because
quite a high percentage.
Yes.
But I'm not sure about the figures.
Are you asking for the biodiversity?
Yeah.
Yes, in terms of yes, we have. It's more than 50, but yes, 50.
How
50?
The percentage that Natura sites cover the whole area?
I don't know. I can't say it to you.
Okay, I will go to the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can give you data and ask my colleague.
Any questions more? Okay, then thank you very much for now. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
I'd like to ask you something which was in the first previous lecture from your side. You mentioned this problem with how to present a project to the third party. I don't know, because you use a terminal. I don't know. I cannot recall at the moment, and I don't know. It was a problem with different. The people do not understand what you have in your mind, and you have to show them what is the idea of the project. And I don't know. If you go back,
I don't know. But the question is, sorry.
The question is, this is the very problem of all of us, which will apply for this. You know, the project we approach to somebody, let's say first to the possible partners. You know, it's maybe seen on the other way from them. You know, and it's for me it's a problem of presentation of the project. You know, what I'm asking you is this is it, endogamy vision.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
What I see as a very crucial problem for all of us. Mm-hmm. And what is my question is, you put here to the third parties. What do you mean for the third parties? Do you mean the parties who are involved in the project, or also the parties who are involved in the project, considering on the, let's say, the ministry in Spain? Let's say the people in who will evaluate your project, all this. So this, what you say is this vision, a problem in all these aspects. or it's you meant only the third parties? Number two, what did you do, to avoid this? Do you have some specialists, or because you have many experiences, I see, with this? Will they say, well, this is, you need to do this, I don't know, simple way, I don't know, with using another type of explanation, like visualization, more this and that, and here and there. That's one.
Okay. Yes, when I talk on third parties, I say everyone. So the people who will finance co-finance your projects, the possible partners of your projects, and mainly the people who will evaluate your projects. So this is the third. So what we did with in these cases? Well, when we always have an idea on a live proposal, first we design a presentation, a well-designed presentation on the projects, the main actions, objectives, results, with very good presentations, and we go to, if we need a regional government to be involved, yes, we go there and we present the project. So this is what we think that it should be implemented in that region or whatever. So just I recommend you just to publish to make marketing with your proposal. You have to sell your proposal to the others. So, and explain very well that. So, but if you have this endogamy vision, maybe you will have a feedback by this partner saying that this is not a problem, this is not the way to solve it, and whatever. But maybe that could enrich your proposal because you have these endogamy problems, the projects. With the co-financer of the project is the same. You have to convince them just to take or to be part of that and to finance the proposals. And with the evaluators, that is what we have been doing in the last years, is just to find to look for the evaluation of an external evaluator of organization. So we need other people or organization just that is not involved in the proposal, but have, for example, we have contact with some ex-evaluators of the commission. They have this vision of the proposal, what the commission need, what they are looking for, and if we do is just to give them the proposal when it's finished, just to make a pre-evaluation of the proposal. So because in that way we can avoid this endogamy vision or any other lack on the proposal, because maybe, as Nieves said, the coherence of the proposals is really important. So, and they can detect there is a lack of coherence in proposals, or in the budget, or you don't have explained really good the problem or the action. So this is a recommendation, just to look for this is what we are doing. Just look for evaluator of that teams and ask for the evaluation of the proposal.
Okay, thank you. Another question, maybe? No. Okay, then yes.
And what is usually the budget that you have for
We have present
ex-evaluators cost something usually, all these other parties,
yeah.
or they do it like, in goodwill to help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It has been changing with the crisis. We are an ONG. We have no.
But approximately.
Yeah, but approximately, it's around. Well, there is a history there is a telling on that your project should be up of 500,000 of euros because the Commission likes, but this is telling, I don't know is the reality, but they like projects up to 500,000 of euros. So, but we usually present projects between 1 million and 2 million of euros.
No, I'm asking how much do you spend? How big is the budget of your money for preparing the proposals? You know, so not the project itself.
Zero.
But you have
the staff of the organization just preparing the proposal. This is something in just that is not fair with the proposal, because you can make a huge effort to prepare a proposal that is not only the idea, it's not only to develop the idea, but just to find the partners, to find the supporter of your project, to find the co-financer, and at the end, this is something that you make for free. I mean, that's you will invest two months of your time, of the staff of your organization or company, just preparing the proposal, and at the end, and unfortunately, this is something that will change with the new life program. That maybe the idea is just you will present a general idea, and if the Commission determine that it's a good idea, they will give you the support, the financial support to develop the idea, to present the proposal. And this is for my perspective, this is better and fair. I mean, in terms of effort, because you are investing for free. Because I don't know. It's time of working. It's time of the staff of the people on the organization. I have not the value of it, but a proposal takes 1-2 months of 1-2 person working on the proposal. So that was what we spent on that.
I think the question was that do you pay this the one that makes the pre-evaluation of your proposal? Do you pay this person?
Because I can go like Big Four, like PVC or something like that. I have this documentation ready for the project. Could you evaluate before I put it there? Do you have somebody who was before evaluate or something like that?
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Yeah, well, it's a risk. I mean, you invest that in just to obtain maybe the projects, but it's something. But I don't know your question about your question is that some evaluators are members of Silver Life, so we have them involved in the organization, so they help us for free because they are members of organizations, so we have these contacts. But sometimes we have asked for other evaluators, ex-evaluators, and we have paid them, I don't know, 1,000 euros. 1,000 euros is maybe something that I remember now an example of one evaluator that have helped us to develop.
Do you review any of the papers? Has some other organization come to you because you have some awards of previous projects that somebody came to you and asked for a second opinion?
We have not, because sometimes if that happened, they are asking us to be partners.
Okay.
So because to be partners, we will be involved in that project. So and we can assess how to develop the proposal.